How's it going, everybody? Today I wanted to talk about a really special coin that I have in my collection. It has a very interesting history. And some say that this coin changed the course of history as we know it today. So the coin you see here is a 1783 8 reals. It's a silver Spanish coin, minted in Mexico, and was found at the bottom of the Gulf of Mexico. It was discovered on August 2nd in 1993 by a fishing vessel that was dragging its nets, hit a snag. They pulled their nets up and they were filled with Spanish silver coins. Mostly these 1783 8 reals, other denominations, and they were all clumped together. Some were fused together, and it was kind of a mess. But they noticed that they were neatly stacked, some of them. And this gave the indication that these coins were actually from a ship known as the Cazador. And the Cazador was a Spanish ship in the late 1700s that was leaving a mint in Mexico with all of these coins, freshly minted, heading from the mint in Mexico through the Gulf of Mexico to Louisiana, to the mouth of the Mississippi. And on their travels, the ship ended up sinking. And we'll get to that story in a little bit. So, the sinking of this ship, some believe, changed the course of history, mainly U.S. history. So we're going to go to 1784. Louisiana territory was owned by Spain. It was not a great place. It had cutthroats and pirates and bad people. And there was a paper currency there at the time. It was being counterfeited left and right. So that's why they were sending all these silver coins to that area to start a more structured monetary system. Unfortunately, they sank to the bottom of the Gulf. So in 1784, Spain owned the Louisiana territory. They were having trouble with it. It was a headache. They ended up giving it to France. So then in 1800, Napoleon Bonaparte overthrows the French king and obtains the Louisiana territory. So Thomas Jefferson at the time offers Napoleon $3 million or so for basically just Louisiana. Napoleon counteroffers with the entire Louisiana territory, which basically is from the from the mouth of the Mississippi in Louisiana all the way up through North America to Canada. And he offers the entire Louisiana territory for $15 million, which, if you do the math, is 4 cents an acre, which was a heck of a deal. So, of course, Thomas Jefferson accepted the offer, which is known as the Louisiana Purchase, and the United States expands greatly with all of this land, which later on allows for the westward expansion. So, that's a little bit of the history of this particular time, where some say that if the El Cazador had never sank, then maybe Spain wouldn't get so frustrated and give Louisiana territory to France. And maybe Napoleon wouldn't be struggling and offer America this territory. So, pretty interesting there. But let's get to how the El Cazador even sank. So, there are some notes written down by Thomas Jefferson, by Benjamin Franklin, by a known science expert at the time, and they said in this late 1700s, particularly 1783, 1784, we had an El Nino effect going on. Extreme weather. There was an Arctic blast coming through North America down through the Gulf, which caused the Mississippi River to freeze. And it was sending chunks and large chunks of ice through the Mississippi out the mouth to the Gulf of Mexico, which the Mississippi freezing only happened twice in recorded history, which is pretty interesting. And once was this first time that we're talking about now in 1783, 1784. And what a lot of people believe, after all the research, that the El Cazador was heading towards the Gulf of Mexico, or towards the mouth of the Mississippi through the Gulf of Mexico, and possibly encountered large chunks of ice, hitting these chunks of ice, tearing the hull of the ship, and since it was carrying tons of silver, the ship probably just sank like a rock. There were no known survivors on the ship, which makes sense because of the frigid water. So any of the ship's crew that possibly made it into the water probably froze and perished. So, pretty crazy story there. Pretty interesting. But if that ship didn't sink, and Spanish didn't give the territory to France, and Napoleon didn't overthrow France, and if Napoleon didn't get frustrated with with losing, all these things going on, we might not have the Louisiana Territory, and America might look a little different than we know it today. So, that's the history. I hope you guys enjoyed. I love this coin. Just a little quick thing about this particular one. It is in this sterling silver clasp, and it was, a lot of these coins were made into jewelry, into necklaces, and this particular one was put in this band, and usually a little hook would be fused. That never happened, so actually got a good deal on this one. Well, it was given to me, but the person that gave it to me got a really good deal because it was just a coin, and the guy's like, oh, well, it's not a complete necklace, so I like it this way. I thought about possibly taking it out of there, but this is silver as well, and we like silver. So, that's the 1783 8 reals coin from the El Cazador shipwreck. I just love the history behind this. It's super interesting, and I hope you think so too. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day.